Hello, everyone. Happy Sew What Day. It is our first Sew What of 2025. That's right. Isn't this exciting? It's a brand new year. And, as we are in the freezing cold weather, I don't know about you, but we are having a major snowstorm right here in Colorado. So it's a little chilly down here in my basement, but it's winter time, right? We should expect this. Kind of weird to just have, I don't know, almost 60-degree weather over the Christmas holiday. And now here we are, and my weather app is telling me it feels like 14. So quite a drastic change, but we are used to it. So anyways, I hope wherever you are watching from, you are staying warm and safe and healthy and all of those good things to start out the new year. I've been doing a little bit of research about just, January, this time of year, getting inspiration for some winter themed projects. And, you probably already know this, but January is deemed the most depressing month of the year. How depressing is that? So I think it's amazing that we know how to sew and that our friend, the sewing machine here, can keep us busy, keep our minds moving, get us out of any kind of depression we are feeling with this cold weather that makes us homebound most of the time. And all of those things that January can bring. It's the month where we have the most darkness, the longest nights, or days or whatever, the coldest, all those things. So I encourage you to, just challenge yourself by learning something new. Get to your sewing machine, grab a pattern, get a kit that you can work on during this month to fight those feelings. That's one of the benefits of sewing, is that it's so good for our mental health, for our well-being. And I just highly encourage you to put on your favorite podcast, put on some great music, dive into a sewing project, learn something new. And you'll just start feeling so much better as you are working through something. And, you get that satisfaction of turning it right side out or doing that final binding, and you have something to show for your month of January other than the deep, dark, depressing, dreary days, that a lot of us in this country have to endure this month. So, pour those thoughts and feelings into your sewing, and, maybe even dive into your stash. A lot of people are getting organized this time of year. I wish I was one of them. I'm trying. Really, I am. I'm tackling little things here and there, organizing the holiday bins. That was a big one, and I did accomplish that. So brava. But I really need to, get a handle on this sewing studio of mine. So that's next on my list. I'm not usually one for creating a bunch of New Year's resolutions. I like to just, focus on one day at a time, being better today than I was yesterday at XYZ, whatever that may be. Small victories. That's what I find, comforting for my own self. So at any rate, I want to show off some new bags for the new year that might inspire you to get to your sewing machine. It might be a great kit you can dive into to fight the winter doldrums and to have something really amazing at the end of this month, or maybe even at the end of this week, depending on how speedy you are at the sewing machine. All right, Sharon says, I never seem to get organized, but keep trying. We just got to keep on keeping on and tackle little things. There you go. All right. Diane says, positive thing about January is daylight is getting longer. Every day from December 20th is better, plus hockey. All right. Love that. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it's even cold in Atlanta, Judy says. Even in these, warmer areas of the world, we're just having a big cold snap right now. It's, whew. All right. Maureen says, I just got my Epic 2 back from its spa visit, and now I can start on my mystery box. Amazing. I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. All right. So let's see. What do we want to start with? A lot of people are saying they have finished their New Year's Eve Dutton bag. If you missed us on New Year's Eve when we all sewed together, we were live for 4 hours on New Year's Eve. And we sewed the Dutton bag together with this beautiful freestanding lace panel. And I wanted to show off some of the amazing creations that everyone made during that event. I'm going to just make this much, much bigger so you can check it out. I know I've been talking about it a lot on Sew What over the past, month or so as we have geared up for our 5th annual New Year's Eve sew along. It was an amazing time. We had such a blast. A lot of you were able to keep up this year as well. And you know what? It's really not about keeping up and trying to sew fast and get it all done in those 4 hours. We want you to have fun. We want it to be stress-free. So I really, really encouraged people if they were getting nervous that they weren't keeping up, I just said, hey, listen, just watch, take notes on your pattern. You don't have to keep up with us on New Year's Eve. The great thing about this event is that we record it while it's happening live. And then that recording lives in your personal library at sewingonline.sulky.com forever. It never expires as long as you're registered for the event. And you can go in and watch it, rewatch it, fast forward to the parts that you need if you got stuck on a part of the pattern, or if you had to leave or something like that during the event. This is true for all of our events over at sewingonline.sulky.com. They all become videos that you can watch at any time. So even if you think you can't join us live, or if you've never, come to one of our live webinars before or done a sewing session with us, everything is there for you after the live event ends. So you can really take it easy, watch on your own time. And, I had a number of people reach out to me and say, this was so much better than a YouTube video on sewing, because they could talk to us, ask questions, talk to each other in the live chat. And we really try to make it more of an immersive, interactive experience for you. Because, sometimes those YouTube videos, while a lot of them are great, a lot of them will give you misinformation or not the whole picture. So that can be really frustrating. And it's also really frustrating if you're watching a video and you want to learn how to make that thing that they're making and there's no instructions anywhere. It's just a really cool video that captured your attention. That happens to me quite often, where I see a little snippet of a video and I'm like, whoa, how did they do that? And then I can never find the video again, or there's no links for that, particular technique. So then I got to figure it out, and then we get to share it together. All right. So enough of all of that. Let's talk more about New Year's Eve. So as I mentioned, a lot of you have finished your Dutton bag. Some of you are still finishing up the finer details. I heard from some people that they wanted to do a different strap. They did the first one, and since it's entirely removable, as you can see on this image here, the strap is attached to a swivel clip D-ring type hardware. So you can remove it and replace it with a different strap if you want a different look for that day or for an evening or what have you. You can make yourself a fully adjustable strap using a buckle slide, and swap your straps if you want a strap of a different color. So a number of people were waiting on some more cork fabric or, some more faux leather fabric to arrive so that they could make a second strap and have 2 different looks for their Dutton bag, which I think is amazing. Some people did the lace on the front and a totally different look on the back. and then they could switch their bag around for a different look. So there was so many great ideas shared on the day of the event, and they're now being shared on our Facebook group, which is called Sulky Stitch and Post. If you are not a member of that Sulky group yet, it's a private group. Great place to share your ask questions from each other, share your photos. If you get stuck on a part of any pattern, whether we present it or not, we want to help you figure it out. And so does everybody else on that page too. So it's a great community spot. All you have to do is go on Facebook, search up Sulky Stitch and Post, ask to join. We'll let you into the group, and then you can post pictures of your Dutton bags or anything else that you're working on. Ask your questions directly to Sulky support staff. It's a really amazing resource. So here are just some of the pictures of everyone's Dutton bags. This is a stunner. I mean, it looks exactly like the pattern cover. It looks exactly like the bag that we showed throughout the event. I mean, everyone had such success with this bag. I think that's another, main point is that with all of this expert instruction guiding you along the way, look how amazing these bags turned out. All right, here is one in that red colorway. So this person decided to do that cherry red faux leather for the whole exterior of the bag. And then the background of the lace was the black thread. So it really pops. This one is such a stunner. Here is another one in that cherry red colorway, except this has the black faux leather as the exterior of the bag. And then that cherry red is the inset piece with the faux leather with the freestanding lace over the top of it. So this one has the red thread as the underlay stitching for the lace with the cherry red underlay piece behind it. Absolutely love it. It's a little bit like punk rock meets, Yellowstone, like that, modern cowgirl kind of aesthetic. And I absolutely love this one. Here's another one in the classic cowgirl colorway. And you can see that the strap is a little bit different type of faux leather than the main part of the bag. And that's the same accent piece that's used behind the faux leather as well. So the strap almost has this like rugged leather look to it. It's kind of got this like brushed feel to it. And then the legacy faux leather that is shown on the exterior of the bag has a little bit smoother texture and really, really mimics the look of leather so incredibly well, but it's entirely vegan and really great to sew. All right. Yes, I agree, Sharon. This one is so to spec. I mean, everyone just did such a great job. Here's another one in that cherry faux leather colorway. And you could see this person used some rivets to attach the strap to the hardware, which I think is really smart because sometimes when you're going through all of those layers of faux leather, it can be a little difficult to get your needle to go through all of those layers and sew in a straight line right up next to that hardware. So I love the addition of those rivets right there. It makes it so easy to attach. It's a nice secure bond, and you can mimic the hardware finish that you have for the grommets and for the zipper and for the rest of the bag. And it just adds another element of a professional finish. And here is yet another one in that cowgirl chic colorway. I don't know which one is my favorite, but I love that everyone kind of took liberties with their colors because you had exactly the same amount of accent and main fabric in the kit. So you could kind of mix and match. If you wanted that rugged brown look on the exterior, you could swap those two faux leather colors, just like people did with that cherry red colorway. So I just absolutely love the look of this bag. The freestanding lace adds an entirely different element that you don't see in ready-made items. It's this large scale lace piece. Nobody's going to believe that whole thing was made out of thread and that you did it yourself. So I think this is just an incredibly, it looks like an incredibly ambitious bag, but everyone had such success with it. And it's really a testament to the designer, Jessica Barrera of Sally Tomato, and breaking things down to make it seem like anybody can make this bag, and really, truly, anyone can. So if you did miss out on the New Year's Eve sew-along, you can still register for it, watch the video, get the pattern, get all the embroidery designs. We also showed how to make these cute little freestanding lace charms for the little tassel embellishment, and you could use those to make earrings, which I discussed during the event, and all kinds of other embellishments too. Here's the little leaf that also comes with it. And the great thing about this little flower is it can really take you into springtime. Make these in whatever color you like. Make a pair of earrings for someone for Mother's Day. All kinds of things you can do with the designs that were included with purchase of the event. All right. Heather says she wants to get more fabric to do a longer strap that can be interchanged. Love that. You could do a shorter strap, like a handbag strap, longer strap. Like I said, grab yourself a buckle slide, and then you can create a strap that you can just adjust the size of it for however or wherever you like to wear your bag so that it's comfortable for you. All right. Was the underlace sewn 2 times, done once, then sewn again? So the underlay, which is the brown part of the thread, so the first pass of the needle goes in one direction, and then the second pass of the needle goes in another direction, but it's all in one color stop. And then when you change to your accent thread, that's all done in one color stop as well. So you don't stitch it out twice, if that's what you're asking, but the underlay does go in one direction with, let's see, at least 2 passes of thread all across the length of the lace, and then it goes the opposite direction. So that gives you a really nice stable foundation for all of these satin stitches to hold on to. I mean, look how stable this thing is. It's really just an amazing addition to this bag. All right. Lori says, gorgeous in the black vinyl with the cherry accent. The bags do look great. New Year's event was great. Thank you so much for joining us. Ooh, Susie's going to make another one out of canvas. I would love to see what that looks like. So make sure you're a part of our Stitch and Post Facebook group so you can share that with us. I would love to see it. All right. Had such fun on New Year's Eve. Fantastic. So, I will say we are already thinking about next year. This is how soon we start planning for New Year's Eve. Can you imagine? I do have some ideas up my sleeve. I know Jessica is thinking about those too. So we usually come together quite soon after the other event ends, and we spend all year kind of going back and forth and getting all of the fine details mapped out for everyone. So I hope you will join us for our 6th annual New Year's Eve. I almost said next year, but it'll be this year. Amazing. All right, so that's bag number 1, the Dutton bag. And I'm just so happy that you are all posting your pictures on that Stitch and Post page, because I just love seeing everyone's take on the bag and just how nicely it turned out for everyone. And there are a couple of people who posted their questions on there, said, hey, I had some problems with the zipper, but I figured it out. This is what I did wrong. And those comments are so helpful for other people who are also working their way through the bags. So I really, really thank you for posting up, you know, all of your great suggestions and your photos to that page. All right. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention was we're also, speaking of mystery box that someone mentioned earlier, that you can finally get to your mystery box projects. So a couple of people have also posted their mystery box projects over there on our Stitch and Post page. And so, as you know, we do like to try to keep the contents a mystery. You know, that's the fun of grabbing up these boxes. But I did want to mention, if you want a sneak peek and you don't mind, you know, sort of not being surprised, then you can head on over to the Stitch and Post page and you'll see a couple of pictures of finished projects that were done using the items in our winter mystery box. Now, we do have a couple of these still available. So if you're interested, if I can pique your interest on the winter mystery box, these aren't holiday specific projects. They're just wintry specific projects. And, you know, if you're fighting the cold and if you know you might be homebound because of a blizzard or something like this, then may I suggest you grab up one of our winter mystery boxes, open it up, see what's inside, learn about the products in there that maybe you might be unfamiliar with, and you will get 3 project ideas or downloads, patterns, and or designs that you can use to make, or that you can make with the items in that box. Now, of course, you don't have to make those things. That's just, you know, a few ideas to get you started. You might look at the fabrics and threads and stabilizers and other things in the box and think of something else that you can make. But we like to start you off with a few project ideas. So I will, you know, I did share one of these a few weeks ago, and everyone said, share it, share it, share it. And since it's been shared on our Stitch and Post page, I feel that I can share it with you again here. So one of the downloads that you get with purchase of this mystery box is a completely exclusive in the hoop mug rug. And it's the entire project, start to finish, that you do in the hoop of your embroidery machine. It is the cutest thing, and all the materials needed to make it are part of the mystery box. So this is what she looks like. Is that the cutest little mug rug? It's a piece of toast all bundled up with some hot cocoa, and poly sparkle threads are used in some elements of the design. Can you see the little sparkles on the tree? It makes the tree look a little alive. I absolutely love it. Isn't she adorable? And the toast is made out of sulky felty. So it's got a little bit of texture to it, a little bit of 3D. You know, it kind of pops out at you, and she's just so cute. So if you're looking to stay warm and toasty during the winter doldrums, grab yourself a mystery box. You will get this full design, all the fabrics needed to create it, including the batting inside, the fusible web that we use behind the felty to make sure that that's a nice clean cut for the embroidery. Everything that you need for it is there. And the cool thing about this particular mug rug, I mentioned it's done entirely in the hoop. Sometimes when you have an in the hoop project, you have to finish it with a little bit of hand sewing. Now, this one has an envelope closure. So you don't have to hand sew that shut if you don't want to. I just did a couple of little whip stitches just to make sure that's nice and flat. But quite honestly, you could leave that envelope closure. The other cool thing about it having an envelope closure is, instead of creating a mug rug, you can stuff it with a little fiber fill and then put it on your shelf, have a little shelf sitter pillow. Love it. So lots of ideas you can use for the items in that box. If you don't have an embroidery machine, we also included a mug rug project featuring fusible applique that is not done in the hoop of your embroidery machine. So you're actually getting two mug rug patterns, one that's done in the hoop and one that's not. So the one that is not in the hoop is still warm and toasty. It still has that sulky felty, and you get this entire applique template that you can print out, cut out in your fabric, applique onto your mug rug. So just a secondary idea that comes with purchase of this winter mystery box. And then we threw in a really cute little matching mug hug. So this is a little fabric cover for your coffee cup. So if you love going out for coffee, or even just having a mug of coffee, you might want to keep it warm and toasty as well. And you can wrap this around your mug and use some little elastic and a button that's also included in your box to have a coordinating little mug for your mug rug. So, two cute, amazing ideas. You get some cute little buttons and accoutrements. So all of this is included in the mystery box and more. It's an amazing value and just will keep you busy for all of January. And you can enjoy it in no time. All right. Let's see, what size are the mug rugs? Great question. It's been a while since I created these, so I'm going to have to measure it right here. The In the Hoop mug rug finishes at about 5 7/8 by, bear with me, by about 9.5, something like this. And then the non-in the hoop version is a little bit bigger. It's about 5.5 by about 5.5 by about 9.5. So similar in size, but the non in the hoop version is a little bit bigger. When I make a mug rug, I like to see my little motif and stuff when I have my mug sitting on it. I don't want to really cover it up. That's like some of the cute parts of it. So I like it to be pretty good size. And this way you have a little spot where you could put a tiny little plate with a little cookie or a little pastry, and your little mug fits on there. And it's like a little placemat for, you know, your coffee time or your tea time. Makes a really amazing gift as well. If you have somebody with a winter birthday, would be, you know, the perfect choice. All right, let's see. Donna says, how do you get a mystery box? Is it a contest? Great question. It's not a contest. They are available as a kit or product at sulky.com. You will find the winter mystery box. We might have a couple left of our fall mystery box as well. How much is the mystery box? All these great questions. I think they're $49.99. Please correct me if I am wrong. I love how you all like to test my knowledge on the so what. And I always feel like I'm going to get it wrong or misspeak. It's right there on the homepage at sulky.com, and they are $49.99. And it's like over $70 worth of products, designs, patterns, like I mentioned, all come as gifts with purchase of your mystery box. So these are super fun, great things to do. You know, if you happen to be stuck at home, if you know that the cold weather is a coming, grab yourself a mystery box, open it up, and have a grand old time. We do have some people that they get them for each other, and then they challenge each other with what you can make in your mystery box, kind of like if you're on Chopped on the Food Network, you know, you just open your box and what can you make with it in an afternoon? I think that's such a fun idea and definitely would fight all of those feelings of depression that can come this time of year. All right. Let's see. Cindy says, still working on New Year's Eve. Perfect. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. So along with your mystery box, you might just be the winner of one of our golden tickets. So if you're new to mystery boxes, since there were some questions about it, we put 5 golden tickets in random boxes and send them out as whenever someone buys a mystery box. So you could get a golden ticket in your mystery box, which is worth a $50 store credit at sulky.com. That's like getting your mystery box for free. Am I right? So, the golden ticket, so fun. And they're telling me that we have had three people have claimed a golden ticket. So there's still 2 out there in the universe. So you could still get a $50 golden ticket inside your mystery box if you purchase it today. So great idea. Do you ship to Canada? Yes, we do. You just need to pick the shipping option that's right for you. And make sure that you get it, in a reasonable amount of time. All right. Any other questions on mystery boxes? How many projects are in the box? So sometimes it depends really. In past boxes, we've had like a pattern and an embroidery design. This one, there's 3 projects included, but you also get access to our mystery box page, web page that we build specifically for each box. So along with the patterns and projects that you get with your particular box, we also give you all kinds of links and resources and other ideas that you can also make with the items in your box. So if the mug rug is not your cup of tea, there are other ideas as well with links to your supply list. It might be a link to a blog post project or another pattern you could use featuring, the correct quantity of fabric in your box or the specific threads that are in your box, these kinds of things. So it's really, really well thought out. There are a lot of moving parts to these mystery boxes and a lot of fun you can have, whether you go on the website, do your In the Hoop projects, or just challenge yourself to make something with the items in the box. All right. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions about mystery boxes. Check them out at sulky.com because once they're gone, they're gone. We do not fulfill them. They have limited quantities, and we won't have another one until the spring. So now's a great time to grab up that winter mystery box and make your cute mug rugs or other items. All right, so bags for the new year. Our second bag that I want to talk about is the Scarlet Bag. All right, so along with, the whole idea that sewing should not be stressful, sewing should be fun. We should be able to take our time, right? But have all the resources that we need to get through a project. So with that in mind, with January being this long month, and seeing as how we just did a 4-hour live sew along, we wanted to give you a no pressure sew along with the Scarlet Bag. So this one, access to this sew along begins January 14th. But the difference between this one and our New Year's Eve sew along is this one is entirely start anytime video taking you through the entire Scarlet Bag with a quilty twist. So maybe you've made this bag before. Maybe you joined us when we did this bag in cork fabric. Now we're taking a quilty spin on it, and we have 2 kits available for you to choose from. On the left of the screen, you'll see the Daybreak kit with the chocolate brown faux leather. On the right of the screen, you'll see the Breeze kit with that teal turquoise cork fabric. So 2 kits available for this sew along. You'll want to register. Once you register, you get the full pattern with all instructions. So if you want to use your own fabric and materials, you will get the video and the full pattern. It will give you the supply list, the cutting layout, everything you need to create the Scarlet Bag, including that full video tutorial. Also included is a direct Q&A that goes directly to Sulky support staff if you have a question along the way. So once you register for the sew along, January 14th happens. Everything is ready for viewing. You'll get an email saying you can go ahead and view everything on January 14th. You'll open it up. You'll see the video screen, which you can pop out into full screen if you want. You can cast it to a TV. You can watch the whole video sew along. You'll get your pattern download, and the Q&A widget is right below that pattern download, so you can ask questions at any time. All right, so I wanted to show you some of the features of this bag because it really is a great beginner-friendly bag. If you've never made a bag before, or if you've never sewn with faux leather or cork, this is a wonderful introduction to all of those things. As you can see, only a small amount of this bag is done in the faux leather or the cork, depending on your kit colorway. So you don't, have the stress of working with these really expensive materials and accidentally messing something up. We're only working with the flap piece, the cute little tassel, and the handle. All right. And you will learn some really great techniques for all three of those things: sewing curves with these great fabrics, creating straps that are high-end and professional looking, and then of course the tassel tutorial. I love creating these tassels. I really got hooked on them with this bag like quite a few years ago. And once you learn how they're made, you can create these tassels for all kinds of things, like little key rings, little accents for your bags. I mean, just something like this makes a really great gift for someone. You don't even have to make a whole bag for them. You can make them a cute little key ring once you learn this tassel technique. Someone's asking, how long do I have access to the project? You have all access at all times. It never expires. So once you purchase this sew along, the video and pattern live in your personal library at sewingonline.sulky.com as long as you have an account there. So if you misplace the pattern after downloading it, or in a couple years you want to make another Scarlet Bag and you forget where that is, log into your account at sewingonline.sulky.com and you can view the video, refresh your memory, get the pattern, all of those good things. So it's really, really a great benefit. Not a lot of, education sites out there have all access all the time to the things that you have purchased. I think that's really important. All right. Kathy has not sewed with faux leather or cork, not yet. So, this is a really great opportunity to experiment with these fabrics. I think you'll find great success with it. Especially the ones, the fabrics that we have sourced from Sally Tomato for these kits. It's a really high quality cork fabric that doesn't split. It has a nice backing to it that makes it sew like butter. And with the faux leather, I give you some great tips during the video for how to set your machine up for success, things you can do to reduce sticking at the presser foot, and things like that. Other notions you can use, like double-sided basting tape, really, really helpful for making things like your strap lay nice and flat so that you can sew it without it being so bulky, without your needle sticking through all those layers, things like this. All right, so just a few highlights of this bag. I mentioned that we have a quilty take on this bag. So it is lined with a foam interlining that gives it this wonderful structure. I mean, look at this bag, just standing up straight. I'm barely supporting it from the bottom. It has this wonderful structure. It's not floppy at all. And I just think that it has greater longevity when you add this foam interlining to it. It also gives it some loft. So my brain naturally goes to, let's quilt it a little bit. Let's add some thread detailing to it. So these bags have some really simple quilting. This one is done, this daybreak version is done with sulky 30 weight blendables thread. And all I did was choose a quilting stitch on my sewing machine, a serpentine stitch, and I played with the length and the width of that stitch to get this little wavy line accent with my thread. So everything you need to know for creating that, planning for it, stitching it, is in the video as well. It's not just the construction of the bag, it's all of the quilting embellishment as well. And you can quilt this however you like, but I really feel like the quilting helps keep all of these layers together. So we've got, of course, our lining, we have our foam interlining. That way the foam interlining is really one with your exterior canvas fabric. Excuse me. All right. So for this one, I did the serpentine stitch on the quilting. For this one, I just did straight stitches. And it's almost like I'm adding to the fabric print. So I chose to use a navy 30 weight cotton thread that matches with the little navy flowers on our little, what would we call these, little dandelions or something like this, or little floral print. So it adds a little bit more of that navy color into the design of the bag and, keeps our layers together and just adds a little bit of personal detail to it. So you could do that serpentine stitch on here instead of the straight stitch. You could echo quilt around some of the motifs, all kinds of ways to make this your own. All right, along with the quilting, I also give you tips for using some different fabrics for the flap piece. I used the canvas fabric here that I used on the exterior for the lining of the flap. That is not suggested in the pattern. It's just one of the sort of expert details or suggestions that I give you throughout the video. So there are times where I deviate from the pattern just a little bit, just to give you my own personal tips and tricks that I learned along the way, because I've made this bag many, many times. It's a go-to pattern that you will, make again and again. All right, and here is me using, first off, a Teflon foot. Secondly, my laser light level on my sewing machine, or my laser light. It's not a level. My laser light on my sewing machine. And again, I give you some more tips for sewing in a straight line, sewing on the cork fabric, sewing the faux leather. You get the idea. And here you could see that foam interlining. The bag also has a magnetic snap closure. If you've never used something like a magnetic snap, don't let it scare you. It's really easy to install. I give you all the tips, all the tricks for doing it so that you don't harm your fabric or your fingernails, things like this. And it's just a great finishing detail for your bag. It makes sure that when your flap goes over, it's already, I didn't even have to, the magnets just came together. So it's a great closure detail where you don't have to have a zipper and all these things that might intimidate you with bag making. We're just going to add a snap and a flap. Easy as pie. And then, of course, some details or some tips and tricks for creating the strap as well. So sewing clips are your friends. Rivets are your friends. We talked about somebody adding rivets to the Dutton bag a little bit earlier. This makes it much easier to attach your strap around your hardware pieces. So a couple of rivets are included with purchase of the Scarlet Bag kits that we have at sulky.com. Again, you can find the Breeze colorway, which is that teal, or the Daybreak colorway, which is that chocolate brown. And each one has a different hardware finish. So with the chocolate brown, you'll get an antique hardware finish. And with the Breeze, you get a nickel hardware finish. Keep in mind, though, as well, that your kit is not going to include a rivet setter. So if you don't have a rivet setter, you will need to pick one of those up in order to use the rivets. But if you want to forego the rivets altogether, you can just sew across your strap as well. So there are a ton of alternatives, maybe not a ton, but there are alternatives to using those rivets as well. But hopefully in the video, once you watch it, you'll see how easy they are to install and how it really just elevates your bag making, elevates your projects just by using a little simple piece of hardware. I know hardware can intimidate people. You know, it feels so, I don't know, final to put a rivet in. But it really, really does just take your bag to the next level. It looks very boutique style, very professional. All right, Sharon says magnetic closures are great. And the cool thing about these kits is all your hardware is going to match. Your magnetic snap will be in the same hardware finish that the rest of your bag is in. And it's so hard, you know, when you go to find all these little bits from the fabric store. I don't know about you, but finding like a D-ring and a zipper and a rivet all in the same hardware when I'm out in the store is virtually impossible. So I love a kit that has everything I need, all in the same hardware finish. Everything's gonna match. So that's what we've done for you with these Scarlet bags. So again, you can choose from the Daybreak or the Breeze colorway. You'll get the foam inner lining, the outer canvas, the lining fabric, the accent fabric in either that faux leather or the cork, all the thread that you need to create your bag and embellish it with the quilting. And it's at a really, really great deal right now at sulky.com. Jana says, both options are stunning. It makes it impossible to choose. Jana, you're just going to have to get both. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Let's see. Esther says, Sally Tomato cork is 100 times better than cork I've purchased somewhere else. I agree. It's, you know, they really specialize in these fabrics and really have taken time to make sure that the cork isn't going to split along a seam line, which can really, really happen when you don't have a nice backing to it, and all those things. So, all right, let's see. Don says, can you put the questions in white instead of black so they can be seen better? Oh, I guess I didn't even realize they were in black right now. So thank you for letting me know. I will see if I can troubleshoot that. All right. Colleen, hi girl. Hi Colleen, how are you? She says, I love kits in general. I like having everything I need together. Me too. Love that. It's just, you know, it makes your life so much easier. You can get everything all at once. You don't have to pay for shipping from this place and, you know, figure out fabric color combinations that you can't really see online, you know, things like that. So, and I love the canvas fabric that is included in these kits. It's from Art Gallery Fabrics. They have some amazing canvas prints. I don't know about you, but my local fabric store has like the same 3 canvas fabric prints that they've had for years. And, you know, while they're not horrible, I want a fun print. You know, I want a new fabric from a new designer. And that's what you're seeing right here. So I think you'll really enjoy working with that fabric too. It's not a really stiff, heavy canvas fabric. It still has a nice hand to it. So when you pair it with that foam interfacing, it's still fine to sew. It's not, you're not going to be contending with all this bulk. And I do give you tips and tricks for managing the bulk as well on, you know, the darts and everything that shapes the bag. So keep that in mind as well. And yes, Donna, we do ship to Canada. There are shipping options that will come up when you go through the checkout process. You have to, I think, get to almost the very end to see your shipping options. So just keep that in mind. All right. Love the kits. Don't have to order materials. Absolutely. All right. Decided on turquoise for a spring bag. Excellent. Yeah, you know, one looks really springy, one looks almost fallish, but I think they both work for really any time of year to brighten up, you know, your wardrobe with a really cute accessory for spring. That's a great idea. All right, so our final bag that I want to introduce to you today on New Year New Bags is called the Felty Tote. So if you have subscribed to the Sulky blog, you saw that we debuted the Felty Tote pattern just yesterday. The Felty Tote is designed by Katie Bartz of Classic Sewing, and this is a really great roomy bag in this trendy look of wool felt. But instead of using wool felt, we're using Sulky Felty, our polyester embroidery felt. We call it embroidery felt because it's manufactured to accept a lot of needle penetrations and thread without puckering or buckling. So it's fantastic for machine embroidery and hand embroidery projects. But you can use it for applique, like we did on our mystery box mug rug. And you can use it for entire projects like the Felty Tote. So I have been seeing totes like this all over the place in super high-end companies. They retail for upwards of $300, okay? But we're making the Felty Tote out of Sulky Felty with Sulky 40-weight polydeco thread, Sulky 40-weight rayon thread for a cute handmade embroidered label that's also included with this pattern. And these great handles that look like purchase handles, but you're going to make them out of Felty. The other cool detail that I love about this is the exposed seaming and the color blocking on the Felty Tote. So grab yourself 2 rolls of Sulky Felty in the colors of your choice to do this color blocking. That upper color will be the color of your handles, and then the lower color, of course, the bottom of the tote. It has exposed seaming, which I think is a really cool detail. It gives kind of a boho vibe to the bag, but still looks very high end. And I love the mottled look of the heathered look of this particular Felty as well. So that is going to be the giveaway today for one lucky viewer who is watching So What, who is engaging with the post. All you have to do is drop me a line in the live chat or in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. You must like us on Facebook if you're watching there, or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching there. And that's all you have to do to be automatically eligible to win a assortment pack of Sulky Felty in the heathered variety. So you'll be well on your way to creating a Felty Tote. I do want to mention, though, that the assortment packs are pre-cut sheets of Sulky Felty. So to make your tote, you really want to be working with 2 rolls of Sulky Felty so that you have enough yardage for those outer panel pieces, okay? So the other thing I love about this is it's lined in a cotton fabric. So you can choose a pop of color, like this one has a yellow solid cotton fabric on the interior of the bag and the interior of the straps. I love that pop of color. It really, really contributes to the high-end designer feel of this bag. Or you could also go with a print of your choice and have the pop of color also be a springy motif or something like this. So here you could see the Handmade Label. This is an embroidery design that is done in the hoop, applique style. So I'm going to make this much, much bigger so you can see it. All right, so this is also done in a faux leather. So talk about adding a high-end look to this. When you grab up this pattern at sulky.com, you also get SVG cut files for this little oval, as well as the machine embroidery design for the Handmade Label. So you can add this onto your bag exterior piece before you construct and put everything together. And it really just gives it this great designery look. I love the tone on tone of the thread with the leather. It just really is quite classy. If you don't have a cutting machine, you can do this design applique style, where you would first put your piece of fabric down, do the placements, or excuse me, do the tacking stitch step in the color chart, and then trim away the excess fabric. But we also wanted to include the SVG cutting file for those of you that do have a cutting machine. And you can do a bunch of these handmade labels all at once and kind of have them waiting in the wings for when you do another bag or another project to put that label on. Here's that little bit pop of color you can see with the light heather gray color on top, and then the dark gray color of Felty on the bottom. Love the mustard yellow. It's really one of my favorites. And then here's the opposite look of the bag with the dark color gray Felty on top and the light heather gray down below. So you can kind of see the difference there and make your color blocking choice. Another great color blocking on the bright spectrum that I'm seeing a lot is lime green with bright pink. I'm seeing these in shoes. I'm seeing this color in ready to wear. I'm seeing it come out on the runway. And I think you're going to see this moving forward in a lot of crafty things on the shelves at your local craft store, as well as just on the rack clothing that you would purchase. Lime green and bright pink, I'm telling you, it seems to be a big trend. That would be great for this bag. Also, light blue and dark blue. I'm seeing this a lot with like a nautical almost like theme, or maybe not nautical, more like Mediterranean type theme. So you could go with that too. And here's what that handmade label looks like on the lighter color of the sulky Felty. So either way, it's a really great finishing touch that just really elevates your bag making. So love the take on this strap. It just really, really looks boutique style, but in no way is it $300 or more. And you get to make it yourself. So this pattern is free right now for a limited time at sulky.com. You will only find the pattern and embroidery design here for free during the month of January. After January, it's going to be up there for $9.99. So get it while you can. Grab up the Felty Tote pattern for free, and you'll get all those embroidery designs with your download as well. Just add this one to your cart. Go through the checkout process. It will say $0. You can also add whatever else you would like to purchase at that time to your cart as well. And then after your purchase is sort of verified, once it goes through, the pattern will be in your Sulky account at sulky.com, along with those embroidery design files and the SVG cutting file. All right, Betsy's loving the labels. All right, grab those up. And let's see, Judy also says the kits are wonderful, and I love that you get to watch the videos at your own pace. Yes, there is no video for the Felty bag yet. Right now, we're just releasing that pattern, but it's a very extensive pattern. I highly suggest read the whole pattern before you get started. Make sure you pay attention to how you're cutting out your Felty pieces, and just take your time with it. You know, it's a great project to do during January. You know, get reacquainted with your sewing machine. boost your mental health, and fight the winter blues with your sewing machine by your side. All right. Well, I think I've caught up on all the questions. If I missed your question and you need an answer right away, definitely email us at info@sulky.com. We're always here for you to help you through any of your projects and answer any of your questions. And I hope you will join me next Tuesday for another So What. That is also going to be the day that our Scarlet Bag sew along is ready for viewing. So make sure you are all registered for that you've got your kit on order so that you can start the sew along when it's ready for you. But again, this is a start anytime sew along, completely self-guided by you. There is no live event, no pressure. So you can register now, grab up your pattern, get everything that you need, wait for your kit to arrive. Take it easy, take it slow, and enjoy your time at the sewing machine. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on So What.